I appreciate the opportunity to be on here. So as she shared, I've been doing critical care and trauma work for over 24 years. And my backstory is about 27 years ago, after the birth of my youngest son, I wanted to restore what breastfeeding took away. And so I had breast implant surgery. And 3 years after that time, I started to struggle with autoimmune disease and leaky gut before anybody knew what that was. I remember calling my endocrinologist going, I have leaky gut. And he's like, what is that? So it was interesting so many years ago. I always turn to natural remedies because I know that my body is created to restore itself. You know, we are provided the building blocks. If we provide it with that, it can do that. And so for 25 years, I tried to manage my body systems with supplementation, with good choices, health, exercise, all of that. But I feel like I fell short. Literally, I was the healthiest sick person I knew. Like all I wanted to do was get well. And then in 2018, I experienced a personal trauma that took my health back about 10 years. So when my stress response in my body kind of went AWOL after I received the news that my firstborn son had died in the fire in Northern California, he was a fireman, it literally took me outside of my norm. Everything kind of went crazy because our body's there to address the trauma that hits, but when it's just audible news, there's nothing for it to fix, so it just brings toxicity, so it was worse. It took me 4 years to get back to what I call, this is a normal I can manage. But this time I decided I want my body to heal because I know that it can. So I took my breast implants out. I got my leaky gut under control, all kinds of diet restrictions. I'm literally almost a celiac. I began rebuilding my immune system, and that all started during COVID. So I continued to struggle, but I felt like it was making progress and it would go back. But the brain fog and the loss of memory and the trauma that happened to my brain through all of that, I lost comprehension, my focus, I couldn't stay on task. I was still running my trauma clinic, meeting with clients, and I just couldn't seem to get it together and stay organized. But in March of this year, I began another program with a holistic professional, and he focused on regenerating our bodies. And after completing his 5-month program, he confirmed my cells are 41 years young, but my brain results showed that I was 50% on my way to full-blown Alzheimer's. So wow, that took me away. Rejecting that diagnosis, I decided I was going to find a solution. And 3 months later, just like our other guest, I was surfing and I found Donna Reiner's and I found LifeWave. And I was so excited because I thought this just can't be true. But you know, when you're busy, you don't pick it up and look. But when I did, I dove into everything. And because of my medical background and my natural processes that I've chosen, it wasn't hard to see the light. The technology supported everything I practiced for years, and I believed it can happen. So I was more than hopeful, and I knew this would take me across the finish line. My body's own cells can regenerate and fully put all my systems and that health issue away. So here's my timeline. I've been on the patches 5.5 months. In the first 5 days, I used X39, Eon, and Silent Night, and all the saggy skin from the explant was no longer loose and crinkly. I was so elated. I didn't know collagen was a side effect. Everything has tightened up. 2 days later, protein floaters in my eyes were gone. I was listening to somebody else's podcast. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right, I have those. And I recognized they were gone. Then within 2 weeks, my brain started resting and my deep sleep returned. That was amazing. That's when I added carnosine, the energy enhancers, and X49. And 1 week after that, I had the miracle. My brain fog began to clear. By week 6, my focus, my clarity had all returned. Short-term memory was restored. My recall, my retention, and the communication signals in my brain are all working again. Now I feel balanced. I feel like my body's producing the neurohormones that I need to function like they were 41 years old, like my other cells. But I have so much energy, I literally feel like a 30-year-old. I'm up at 4 a.m. and I get to bed about 10 p.m. And most of the time I'm working or doing something that I need to put my hand to do. So I'm back to working out with a trainer. I'm focused. I'm back on building businesses and sharing the story of how our bodies can regenerate. And actually, in LifeWave, we can reverse the aging. And I am elated that I am on these patches.